Hello, this is Balaji Gopalan, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Exos by MedStack. Exos by MedStack is a privacy program builder, specifically for software organizations delivering products in regulated industries such as healthcare. Exos by MedStack features mappings to regulations such as HIPAA in the US, PIPEDA in Canada, built-in templates for policies and procedures, built-in role definitions with reminders, audit readiness, tracking of evidence, incidents, assets, and risks. And Exos by MedStack is built to integrate with our other product, MedStack Control. MedStack Control is a software management system for cloud architecture that builds in the security requirements of these compliance frameworks automatically and feeds the policies and the evidence of that security into Exos by MedStack. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is Exos by MedStack, the view of an individual inside an organization who has things they need to do to help that organization comply with privacy rules. So we're going to set up our organization first by way of roles. And Exos by MedStack comes with built-in role definitions, and you can customize them and add your own. And if I open up a role, let's say an employee, we can map this role to specific policies inside the organization that role will have responsibilities for and manage their permissions as well. And so once we have our roles set up, we can assign our employees to different roles. And so therefore they have specific things they need to do to help that organization build their privacy commitments. We can also invite contributors into our organization who will observe and guide us through building our privacy program. Once we have our organization set up, we're going to get into the policies. Exos by MedStack has built-in pre-written policy templates mapped to the regulations and specific sections of the regulations, and even identified as required, which means you need to do them first, and addressable, which is ones you can do right afterwards. Each policy, and there are 29 of them for HIPAA, for example, has mappings to the clauses inside the regulations themselves. So if we open up, for example, our HIPAA training policy, you can see the text already written. It is fully editable. All of the edits are saved in a backlog of version control. And as I said, they're associated with the clauses in the actual frameworks themselves. There's a matrix relationship between policies and clauses, which then represent the controls inside those frameworks. Employees are required to acknowledge the policies depending on the role mappings, for example, and the policies are associated with procedures. So procedures are your instruction manuals on how your organization is going to build your privacy program. For training in particular, the procedures come built in with content. So the whole video training program is already built within Exos by MedStack, including all of the reminders and the tracking of adherence to this training. The procedures are also editable and customizable. And you can see what they look like here. Now, once we have our policies mapped out and our procedures, we start collecting evidence for adherence to those procedures by way of completion of tasks. We build all of our evidence for how we're building out our privacy program, including tracking the agreements from our vendors, as well as managing our physical assets, our software inventory. And as we're building out our privacy program, all of the members of that program have the ability to report on privacy incidents, including their remediation plans and organizational risks. And this is the way that we kind of build our privacy program within Exos by MedStack. Now, I want to show you one more really specific thing. If I go back to procedures and I look at software security procedures, such as encryption, for example, you'll see the different versions of it. We have data encryption procedures, which the organization would then use to identify the way that encryption is managed within the organization and how that's assigned. But we also have, I'm going to search for it again, MedStack control procedures. You can see are identified here. This means that if the organization is using our other product, all of the evidence for the security is delivered by MedStack automatically into Exos by MedStack. And that is a quick view on how Exos by MedStack helps software organizations build a complete view on their programs for HIPAA and PIPEDA. We'd love to tell you more. Thanks very much.